This is question 12. Here we're told that Harry travels from Appleton to Brockley at an average speed of 50 miles per hour. He then travels from Brockley to Canton at an average speed of 70 miles per hour. We're then told that Harry takes a time of 5 hours to travel from Appleton to Canton. And we're told the distance from Brockley to Canton is 210 miles. We're asked to calculate Harry's average speed for the total distance travelled from Appleton to Canton. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to write down a few details about each of those two journeys. So from A to B and then from B to C. So Appleton to Brockley and then Brockley to Canton. And what I'm going to do is because this is a question about speed, distance and time, I'm just going to write down what each bit of information that I know about the two journeys. So distance, speed and time. Distance, speed and time. So first of all, the first thing that I'm going to write down is the information that I know already. And I know that the speed that Harry travelled at from Appleton to Brockley was 50. And that the speed from Brockley to Canton, that was 70. What other bits of information do I know? I know that Harry's total time of 5 hours was from Appleton to Canton. That's going to be handy, and I'll write this over here in a moment. So A to C, I know that total time was 5 hours. And I also know that the distance from Brockley to Canton, so from B to C, that was 210. So what I need to do is I need to work out to work out the speed from A to C. I'm going to need to work out what the total distance was from A to C, and then I can simply divide it by time. So just remembering that we're using distance, speed and time, and that our distance, speed, time formula is that distance is equal to speed multiplied by time. So if I know the distance between A and C, then I can simply take that distance and divide it by the time, and that will give me the speed. Now, the problem that I've got is that I don't know what the distance is. I only know the distance from B to C. However, I do know how long Harry was travelling for. So if I know that Harry was travelling for a total of 5 hours, then what I could do is if I worked out what the amount of time it takes him to get from B to C was, that would in turn tell me how long it took him to get from A to B, because I know that those two times have to add up to make 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 210 distance divided by the speed, which is 70, and so I can say that my time here is 3 hours. So just using that formula, distance divided by speed will give me time. So 210 divided by 70 gives me 3. That then tells me that if he was travelling between Brockley and Canton for 3 hours, and he was travelling for a total time of 5 hours, then that means that the amount of time that he was travelling for between A and B was 2 hours. Now what I can then see is that, well, to work out the distance from A to C, I just need to work out what the distance was from A to B and add that to the distance from B to C. So let's do this. If I know that the time taken was 2 hours and that the speed was 50, then speed multiplied by time will give me the distance, 2 times 50, which gives me 100. So now I know that in total, the distance covered between A and C was 100 plus 210. So that means that the distance between A and C, or Appleton and Canton, is 310. I know that the time taken was 5 hours. So to work out the speed, I'm just going to do the distance, 310, divided by the time, which is 5. So I'm going to do 310 divided by 5, And so 310 divided by 5, that's going to give me an answer of 62 miles per hour. So final answer here is simply going to be 62 miles per hour.